Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, the numbers are in for the Edmonton Real Estate Board for August. So let's have a look at what's going on. But here's what I want to do at the end. As I get to the end, I'm going to compare July and August of 18 to July and August of 2019 so we can see what happened over the summer. But then also I'm going to show you roughly the last 5 years of how many sales you did all year long. And I'm going to project out where we're going to come in at the end of 2019. So let's have a look. January through August. Obviously you can see here August we did 1,571 sales, which is down 18.2% from what we did in July. Now don't panic because generally August is usually lower than it is in July. Almost every market they'll do less sales in August than July. Why? A lot of people go on holidays, kids going back to school, not a lot of people thinking about buying and selling real estate. We have lots of closings in, but not actual sales. What happened to months of inventory? Remember, months of inventory determines the strength of the market. 4 to 6 is balanced, above 6 is buyers, below 4 is going to be sellers, and how we get this number is we take the active listings and we divide the sales, and that gives us our months of inventory. So you can see our months of inventory went up to 5.6, which is up 18% from what it was the month before. But as I get into the next graph, I'm going to show you actually some good news. But look where we started the year. We started 9 months of inventory. This is a strong buyer's market. Strong buyer's market. Buyer's market, okay? And now we move into more of a balanced market. Between 4 and 6 is balanced. So you can see the rest of the year, we've really remained in very much of a balanced market, which means your prices shouldn't be moving, which they're not. Look at your prices, 365, 369, 366, 366, 367, because with a balanced market, your prices are going to remain fairly close to the same. How did we do August of 18 opposed to August of 19? So you can see we were off here. We did 1,678 last year in August. We did 1,571. We were off by 6.4% in August of this year opposed to last year. And what about prices? Again, prices year over year have remained almost exactly the same. Now, this here to me is a very strong indicator of probably where we're going to go into the fall. So you can see here the white line is your months of inventory, okay, from January right through to where we are right now. So where are we right now? We got 5.6 months of inventory. Where were we last year? We had 5.5 months of inventory, almost exactly the same, or I should say 6 months, I'm sorry. So we had more months last year, and the year before that, 17, we had 5.5. But let's look at this. If we look at this yellow line, okay, so this was 2018. You can see this is 2019. Do you see how we started higher? And this is the strength of the market. This determines if prices are going up, prices are going down. This doesn't indicate the sales, okay? It just tells you what your months of inventory. You can see here that we went along, we went down, and then as the year went on, we started to rise quite a bit. Now, if we look here, we started higher because we ended higher in 2018. Of course, we started higher in 2019, but look what's happened here. We're now creeping below months of inventory, okay? And I think what I suspect is going to happen, you're going to see this stay lower through the rest of this year, which means I'm not saying there's more sales that are taking place, but what's happening in terms of price, you're actually stabilizing a little bit. Your market's a little stronger in terms of price because your months of inventory are a little bit lower. Now, what about if we look at 2018, the summer 2019? So look at this. 2018, you had 1,723 sales. 2019, we had 1,921. So our sales were up. But then what happened? They dropped in August. We did 1,678. And here we did 1,571. So interesting how we did less here last year, but last year we actually did more in August. So it's interesting what's going on. But look at your months of inventory. So July we had 6.1. Remember I was showing you on the graph? We had 6. Now we're 4.7 and we're 5.6. And again, with the balanced market, you can see prices 370, 366. You can see here they weakened a little bit. And of course, we're up right here. You can see they're almost staying exactly the same. So this here I think you'll find interesting. So if we go back and look from, say, 2014, the total number of sales for the year, this is what happened for the whole year. Everything is accurate except what is in yellow, which is projected. So you look here, we did 19,000 sales. Now what happened around here? We had some oil issues, right? And then we went down to 18,580, down to 17,399, 17,539. Then we went 16,611. Now what happened here? What happened here was stress testing, and also interest rates were going up. So all of a sudden we went to 16,611. So you can see we've been steadily going down in terms of sales a little bit. This was a little stronger than this year, but right here we're down quite a bit last year. And we're projecting you're going to come in this year around 16,500. Now, we did a mathematical calculation. I'm not going to get into how we did that. But if you look at the January through August, so this is the first 2/3 of the year. This is the last 1/3 of the year. First 2/3 of the year, if you look in 2018, we did 12,191 sales. Right now we're at 11,976. So we're less than what we did in the first 2/3 of last year. Now we're at 4420, okay, is what we're at in September to December, the last third, and we're projecting you're going to come in about 4524, which means we'll come in about 16,500, which is almost the same, off by about 111, and I suspect this might be a little bit higher than that. So here's the deal. Your market right now is very balanced. Your prices really are not moving at all. I think your condos are probably actually going down in price. Your inexpensive detached are probably a little stronger, maybe going up in price, but overall you got a very balanced market. But here's what I want you to think about. Projected 4,524 sales September, October, November, December. So the thing is, you're going to do between 4,000 and 5,000 sales in the next 4 months. So the question is, who's going to do those sales? And I'm hoping it's going to be you that's going to get the lion's share of a lot of those sales. So I hope this was helpful. If there's anything we can do for you, give us a call. And remember, everybody, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.